In this AcuReview 2 training, we're going to go over the AcuReview 2 Locate Patient screen. This is the AcuReview 2 Locate Patient screen. For those of you that are familiar with AcuReview 1, this is very similar to the screen you see when you first log into AcuReview 1, which is also called Locate Patient. This screen is your full list of cases. So it shows you your list of cases. In this case, it defaults to pending cases which are not finalized. So it's basically your work list of cases that are available to work on. And so if you want to see cases that are final, because you notice there are no final dates here, you would click on the Show All button in this little box here, and then that would show you cases that are final. And you see now they have two cases with finalization dates because we clicked that box. By default, we are not seeing cases that are final. So now let's go over the different parts of the screen. So I mentioned before that in AcuReview 1, when you log in, the first thing you see is this list of cases. We had a lot of pathologists make requests that we do something similar here because our default login for AcuReview 2 is the dashboard. So some pathologists wanted to be able to go straight into here instead of going to the dashboard. So we did is we gave you this set as default page indicator here. If you click this and set this as your default page, like I just did now, see it says set successfully. That means that from now on, when I log into the system, the first page I'm going to go to is locate patient. So that's what that's for, is it allows you to go straight into locate patient and not the dashboard. You could still get to the dashboard by clicking the home button, but this is a way to make it so it's up to you. You'll see that when you go to the dashboard, there's now a set as default page indicator at the top here. And so that gives you the ability to go back and set this as the default page again if you wanted to. But we're going to leave it as we did. And if we want to get back to locate patient, we get to the locate patient button here. And so now you see that it's not here, and that's because we had selected this as our main page. So it's going to be the main page from now on. Now, the other parts of the page, we've got, if we click on this little bell, it shows you our notifications. If we click here, it shows you, this is showing you what practice you're working with. So if you click here and you have a list of practices, you'll be able to select which practice you want. If you have a long list of practices, you could use the search button to search. Then we have a log out button to be able to log out. Underneath here is scrolling across the bottom is our notifications. So we have system notifications. If I click on that, it'll pause it. So if you have trouble reading it while it's scrolling, you could pause it and then read it, and then you can pause it again to play. So that's any system notifications or alerts that we have that we want you to know about. We've got scrolling across top of the screen. Underneath that, we have what we call our a breadcrumb trail. And the reason we call it a breadcrumb trail is because it shows where you've gone. So you started at the home page and you went from there to locate patient. So that sort of shows you the road you've traveled. So if you want to go back, you can just go back by clicking home and it'll take you right back to the home page. It's another way to get there besides hitting home on the menu screen. And you'll notice the full menu is available from locate patient, so you can use any of the menu options from here as well. Now, if we go to the next row, we've got the show all button, which I showed you before. So if I click show all, it shows you all the cases and not just the pending ones. Then we have the date range. So we could select a date to and from, and that would allow us to, if we have a long list of cases, we could narrow it down to a date range. Once you select the date range, you got to hit retrieve to retrieve the list. We have search by name. If you click that, you could search for a patient's last name and first name. It opens up that little box. Print allows us to print the list. And then next to the list, we have the color coding legend that sort of explains what the different colors mean. So yellow would mean fish ready if there was a yellow one here. Pink means slide not available, and you'll see that these cases are pink and this one's white. So these means that the slide's not available here. Green is patient was billed. This sort of peachish color means that the case was printed. And then stat cases are red. You'll notice the top case on our list is red. That means it's a stat case. We made those red so they stand out to you to make it real easy so you know that the case is stat and it's important that you need to work on it right away. Next to that, we've got our compact and easy button. So this is the layout of the screen. So you'll notice there's a lot of spacing here. If we hit compact, we get a much tighter list and there's not as much spacing. And if you have a longer list, sometimes it's a lot better because you don't have to scroll as much. but it's up to you whether you want compact or easy. You could pick either one and have it go whichever way you want it. One feature that we added because pathologists asked was to save that setting. So if you click easy, it'll stay easy. If you click compact, it'll stay compact, and it'll remain at that, so that this way you don't have to keep setting it. So whatever you set it to, it's going to stay at, and that'll be where you look at your list. Now after this, we have our column headers. So we've got patient ID, last name, first name, office number, which is your case number, which is what shows up on the slides, a session number, which is the Acupath case number, test type, final date. So if these cases were final, then the final date would be here. Patient's date of birth, the physician, the chart number, the receive date, the site, modified diagnosis, and that allows you to click on here. And if you click on one of those cases, it takes you straight into the doctor review screen. So now we're in the doctor review screen and we can start working on the case and doing the diagnosis, or we can go back to, with that button, we could go back to locate patient and we're right back here again. The arrow does the same thing. So if we click the arrow, it would take us right into the doctor review screen as well. So we could start working on that particular case. Now, one thing I missed was the Lumea slides column. The Lumea slides column shows you, for those of you that are digital clients, the number of slides that were expected and the number of slides that are available. So in this case, there were 11 slides expected and 0 of them have been uploaded to Lumea, so 0 of 11 are available. In this case, 6 were expected and 0 were available. And you'll see down here the case that's white, and that's the reason it is white, is because 9 of 9 are available. So 9 slides were expected, 9 slides are available. So you know you can see those slides and you can go ahead and work on this case. That's one of the reasons why this case is white instead of being pink, because the slides are available. Another thing to note about these columns is that all of these columns are sortable. So if I click on the receive date, for example, I will see just the cases that are received in received order. So now all of a sudden I'm looking at them in received order, starting from the earliest to the latest. If I clicked again, I do the other way, where it's now going from latest to earliest. So this is a way to sort it, and any of these columns could be sorted that way. Also, these columns can also be searched. You'll notice there's a search box under each one of them. So if I start to type DIG, when I get to that third letter, I'm only seeing the patient that has last name DIG. And so that works with any of these search boxes. It's a way to search and to be able to find cases on the list. And that is the locate patient screen. That's basically everything that you could know about it.